She is the sitting vice president of the United States right now. She's proven nothing. She's done nothing. I think she's in over her head. She knows she's in over her head, and nobody who is intelligent, like Mark Cuban, Stephen A., or any of these other guys can tell me they truly believe that she is the better candidate. So now they slide her in, right? Nobody voted her there. Nobody voted Kamala Harris. If she went up against other Democrats, she would not be in the position she's in right now. Fact, okay?
Well, it's not a fact.
They slide her in there. Really? How'd she do last time?
This video is brought to you by Pure Talk, brought to you by Pure Talk. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the big wireless carriers want to limit you to two choices of data, unlimited and unlimited. And guess what? Both of them are ridiculously expensive. Stop overpaying for your data. Many of us, you go outside and you use your data, and most of us are hooked to Wi-Fi anyway. They want you to pay for all that data so they can just take your money. Listen, that's like getting a whole pot of coffee when you only want a cup. That's like filling your bed of your truck with gas and you only need a tank of gas. You don't need to overspend, especially in a time like this where money is funny and change is a little strange. So with Pure Talk, I call them my cell phone company, you can get the choice of how much data that you actually want. Listen to this. For just $25 a month, get unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 5 gigs of data, which is more than enough data, plus a mobile hotspot. So stop overpaying for your wireless bill and get America's best 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Dial pound 250 and say keyword Brandon Tatum. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch too easy. There's no contract, no activation fee, and you can even keep your number and your phone. That's one thing I love about Pure Talk, is that you can keep the number and the phone. A lot of times when you switch carriers and all this stuff, people are fearful, like, I don't want to switch my iPhone. I don't want to switch my number. You keep all of that, baby. And then you can still switch to the best network. So all you got to do is dial pound 250, say Brandon Tatum, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month with Pure Talk. Also, there's an article that I want you guys to take a look at, because Ted Cruz is in a battle when he shouldn't be. Colin Allred, which is a left-wing lunatic, people need to be informed about how radical he really is, how he changes his philosophy on boys in the girls' bathroom and stuff like that. I mean, people, if you live in Texas, you need to check this article out. You need to read it. You need to send it to your mama, your grandmama, and them. There's still time left to show people that this dude is an idiot and people shouldn't vote for him. So I'm going to put the link in the description section. You want to check that article out, especially if you live in Texas. Anybody can look at it, but if you live in Texas, click on that article because it's going to affect you as you show up to vote. Now, if you already voted, you already voted. But if you're still thinking about voting, still some time left, we still have a few days left, you need to read this article, share it with somebody that you know is going to end up voting the wrong way if they don't see it. So I'll put the link in the description section. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my boy Dana White, Chris Cuomo had a town hall show, and Dana White was a part of it. Mark Cuban was a part of it. Chris Cuomo. We had Stephen A. Smith, and then my favorite, Bill O'Reilly, was like the first person I actually liked on Fox News before they let him go. So all of them are on at this town hall meeting, and Dana White, I wish they gave him a little more real estate, because him and Bill O'Reilly were eating Mark Cuban alive. And that's because the mental male maturity doesn't exist in Mark Cuban. I can say this, I never met Mark Cuban, but I could almost imagine that if you ask people who know Mark Cuban or work for him at a lower level, not upper executive level, but lower level, they'll probably say he's a jerk and he's pompous. I almost guarantee you they'll say that about him. You could tell in his character how he thinks he's smarter than everybody. He's probably a raging jerk. Anyway, roll the clip.
Now, when you listen to Mark Cuban, you know economics as a businessman, but also in relating it to what you see in the people around you and what you're hearing. What do you believe his argument, how it lands with the voters, Dana?
Well, a lot of the things that I've heard, since I've been on here, this election is about competency. It's about competency. When we were talking about diamond out your boss earlier, this isn't about your boss. This is a world leader. This is the guy, this is the leader of the free world we're talking about here. Trump has already proven he can build a strong economy. He can secure the borders. And he is somebody that allies and adversaries respect. Those are all very important things. She has never, what has she proven? What has she done over the last 4 years? And you cannot make the excuse that she was the vice president and she wasn't in charge of anything. I think that's ridiculous. She is the sitting vice president of the United States right now. She's proven nothing. She's done nothing. I think she's in over her head. She knows she's in over her head, and nobody who is intelligent, like Mark Cuban, Stephen A., or any of these other guys can tell me they truly believe that she is the better candidate.
I'm going to have Mark get in. I'm going to have Mark get in, but Dana, just clarify. Dana, clarify something, and then I'll have Mark Cuban respond if he wants, which I'm sure he does. Dana, can you tell me of a vice president you've ever heard of who did something remarkable on their watch?
Not that they did anything. Let me tell you this. So
go ahead.
Think about this. Right, leading up to the debate, you know, everybody was talking about that he's never been sharper. He's on top of his game. You know, I was just in a meeting with the other day. They do the debate ends, and they figure out he's unfit to run, right? He's the sitting president of the United States. He's unfit to run. So now they slide her in, right? Nobody voted her there. Nobody voted Kamala Harris. If she went up against other Democrats, she would not be in the position she's in right now. Fact. Okay?
Well, it's not a fact.
They slide
Cuomo. I don't know why Cuomo is even saying anything right here, because Dana White is 100% accurate. She lost. She ran against other Democrats and lost. She got killed. Tulsi Gabbard is the one knocked her out of the race. She got 0 delegate votes. So when Dana White says if she ran against other Democrats that she would lose, it's accurate. If she ran against the same Democrats that ran against her in 2020, they would have beat her, right or wrong. You telling me right now she ran against Gavin Newsom that he wouldn't get more votes than her? 100% he would. I'm glad they didn't run him. Roll it.
In the position she's in right now. Fact. Okay?
Well, it's not a fact.
They slide her in there. Really? How did she do last time? How did she do last time?
She was Biden's running mate, and they got 85 million votes. But I hear you. The process was a problem. Let Mark Cuban get in. Talk to your friend Dana.
Dana, I love you. You're so wrong. Trump, inflation was up 25% over the Obama economy he inherited. Ask him about Yemen, where he decided not to take action and allowed 100,000 people to keep on dying in Yemen. Talk to him about his tariffs. What worked with his tariffs? He had 4 years to make tariffs work with China. China kicked his ass. China took him to court, right? Because he didn't know how tariffs worked, and it hurt the economy. The economy was rolling along, and it got so hit by the tariffs that his appointment to the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, had to come back in and cut interest rates 3 times. And then we get to the real point of reckoning, the pandemic. And what does he do? He says, if we don't test people, the viruses didn't really happen. He holds back on resources, except for Vladimir Putin, to keep people from getting healthy. That is not an accomplished president, Dana. He has not done.
I gotta speak. That's the craziest thing ever, because how did the vaccine come out? Donald Trump, Operation Warp Speed. Now, I criticize Trump for the vaccine. However, for you dummies out here that act like Donald Trump didn't do nothing, don't forget that Donald Trump is the one that accelerated the production and it made the vaccine available before he left office. If he was really trying to hurt the American people, he wouldn't have done nothing. But he, in good faith, I think in good faith, he was wrong about it, but in good faith, he was trying to do what it takes to make the American people healthy. All of you dummies mandated it and wanted everybody to get the in their arm. But you don't want to give no credit to Donald Trump for that. Why not?
Anything. What he got, he inherited. You know what?
I got to jump in here
his personal wealth.
Some
he inherited it.
I got to jump in with course corrections here. Number one, the real wages, which is really the only economic barometer for the folks, was up 8.2% in the 4 years Trump was president. 8.2 across the board for working Americans. Fact. Under Biden-Harris, it is around 1%. No COVID pandemic. They have failed. Number two, inflation didn't start because Putin and the Arabs did anything. Inflation started, and I don't know whether you know this, Mr. Cuban, but Biden signed in his first week in office at least 20 executive orders making it harder for every fuel company to harvest their product, whether it be fracking or oil or anything. The fuel company said, holy you know what, we're going to get hosed because our prices to get the stuff out of the ground are quadrupling, so we're going to do it retail now. That's what ignited it, not Putin and not Saudi Arabia. That is the truth.
Mark Cuban, respond, and then Stephen, please get in. Go ahead.
Bill, you're bloviating. Thank you very much.
No, I kept it pithy. I kept it. Cuomo understood it. I kept it pithy.
I did. There was no big words.
You're bloviating. The point is, yes, inflation. You think inflation just started when Joe Biden took office? That is.
It was 1.4 when Trump left. Inflation was 1.4. 1.4%.
I know. It just shows you don't know how inflation. You just don't. It shows you don't know what creates inflation. Yes, gas contributes to inflation. Why do you think Trump is so big on reducing energy costs? Because they contribute to inflation significantly. And beyond that, we produce more energy than we ever have. We produce more energy now than
in the latter part when they started to panic, not in the beginning.
Billy, look it up. Do you know how to use Google?
Oh, wait. No, that's where I get my information on Google, right? I actually research government records. Whoa.
Hold on. Just put his foot in his butt because he's challenging him about knowing how to use Google. If you're going to do academic research, you don't use Google to do academic research. You look at government documents and I would say in certain cases, peer-reviewed journals. You wouldn't just Google search something that's not technically verified. Everything that you search for, it's an open platform. People can put anything they want on Google. That don't mean it's right. Mark Cuban is so pompous that he looks like an idiot. Roll a clip.
Oh, what a concept. Come on, 1.4% when he leaves office, and it goes to more than 9 in a year. Come on.
Let's bring Dana back into this. Stephen A.
Dana, it's good to see you, buddy. I know.
Yes,
I know. Dana.
Fully transparent.
I don't know any of these.
Dana White and I, and Mark Cuban and I, we're all buddies. I've known them both for years.
Must
Dana,
be fun.
Yes, it is a lot. Here's the deal, Dana. Dana, when you speak about Donald Trump, obviously there's a lot of people that look at him and they say, you know what, he did a lot for the economy. I remember that, you know what, he did exceed the deficit to about $35 trillion. What I would ask you, however, is this: outside of the economy, what else has he done that you would deem positive in your eyes?
Well, border crossings are up over 300% since he left office. And that's not including people that are undetected. Mm-hmm. And you cannot deny that the world was a much safer place when Trump was in office. It's undeniable. Do you realize that right now there are more armed conflicts right now than any time since World War II? It was a much safer place when Trump was here.
When we think about the only way I'll respond to that is this: you're talking about folks coming across the borders and obviously the dangers that it may cause in a lot of people's eyes. What about things that are happening domestically? What level of responsibility do you have towards Trump in that regard?
Well, not only that, I mean, when you think about all the people that are crossing the border illegally, I mean, this is just common sense. What about all the people that are here that did it the right way and are trying to get in legally, that are being jumped over and being handed money and a place to live, a telephone, credit cards, all the things that are going on? There are real Americans here that are going through hard times. That money should be going toward them. And there's nothing wrong with people coming to America. That's what this country was built on. But you have to come the right way. You have to come legally.
I think the Democrats been saying forever. And then they end up letting them go after this. I think the segment ended. But, you know, Mark Cuban and them, I started to lose respect for people. I used to think that people who were wealthy were smart. But there's a difference between being smart and having wisdom. Wealthy people are smart enough to be able to make the money that they make. They're smart enough to be able to put systems in place and be consistent. But some of them lack wisdom. Wisdom allows you to be wealthy for a long period of time. Being smart allows you to be wealthy for a small period of time. And then it comes crumbling down on you. And Mark Cuban just has vendetta against Donald Trump is what I think is going on here. He has a vendetta. Like, he don't like Trump. He's jealous of Trump. And you could say for whatever reason, just like Elon Musk, he don't like Elon Musk. Why? He's jealous of Elon Musk. He's jealous that these guys can be, big players in the game and he can't. I think he's not a big cultural player in the game. I don't think he is. Maybe I'm wrong, but Mark Cuban seemed like a pompous jerk. And I think that most people that probably deal with him are like, ugh, I can't stand this guy. He's annoying. He's rude to people, rude to the valet. I'm assuming. I don't know if that to be true, but he seems like the person that would do that. I happen to know Dana. Dana is the nicest, coolest guy you'll ever meet. I met Donald Trump. He's nice as he's grandpa. I mean, but these people like Mark Cuban, you can see it on their face. They just, and then you look at the way they describe policy. Oh, Donald Trump does this. You're not even giving a political or a policy position. You guys just talking outside of you know what. But anyway, I'm glad Dana's standing up for Donald Trump. They should put me on that show so I can whoop him. I'll see y'all the next one.